Welcome, everyone. I am John Ryan of SportsMemo.com, and I am pleased to bring you the Predictive Playbook NBA Triple-Double Show for March 22nd. That is a Tuesday, by the way, in the calendar year of 2022. And I'm pleased to have my good friend and pal and professional sports bettor, Kevin Braudis, on board with us. His friends call him KB, so remember that. KB, welcome to the show. We're going to start kicking some butt here in the NBA card. This show has hit 64% winners over 43 shows. Wow. I mean, I'm happy with that. I can admit it.
You can't be mad about that, John. You can't be mad about that at all.
No, not at all. Not even losing a game by the hook can offset that from the NCAA madness that we both have probably experienced. But this is an NBA show, so Let's get to it, guys. Atlanta Hawks on the road at the New York Knicks here in Madison Square Garden. Game time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New York opened as a 1.5-point home underdog. They are now up to a 3-point underdog. The Hawks are 35-36, trying their best to get into the NBA playoff picture, at least as not a play-in team. They're only 12-22 on the road. I find this interesting that they are favored. I know you have some interesting insights on this game, Kevin, so take it away and tell us where you're going.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. This is going to be a competitive game. I had no lean as far as the spread goes. I think it's going to be a back and forth one. We do have a total of 226.5 I'm looking at. And I also wanted to point out there will be no Julius Randle in this game. So the first thing I think about is RJ Barrett. And when you take Julius Randle off the court, there's a 362 minutes sample size with him not playing and RJ Barrett playing. His usage goes up almost 5%, John. He's averaging almost 5 points more a game when he's off the court. He's only missed 2 games this year, and RJ Barrett missed those same games. So there's not a lot to go off there, but this is going to be a fun one for RJ Barrett. His point prop sitting at 26.5, and yes, that's high from his season average, but I think he gets it done, guys. He's going to be shooting 23 to 25 times in this game, and when you're only asking for 27 points and you're shooting 25 times, it doesn't get much better than that. If you just look at what he's done post All-Star break, averaging almost 40 minutes a game, 39.4 in the last 12, averaging 26 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Again, he's shooting the ball okay. It's not nothing crazy, but when you're shooting that many times, you don't have to be that efficient. I think RJ Barrett would be the play here without Julius Randle playing. The Hawks do struggle with power forwards. If you look a little closer to the last 15 games, averaging or allowing 26 points to opposing power forwards. The last 7 games, even worse, 29 points to opposing power forwards. So again, just a great spot for RJ Barrett. It's going to be a competitive game, and I like him here, and I would be taking his points over the total.
I love the breakdown, Kevin. Let's move on to our next play, which is the Denver Nuggets. And in this game, we have the Clippers visiting them. This is a late night start. Clippers are only getting 32% of the love on the side. However, I do lean on the Clippers here at plus 6.5 to at least cover the spread. I may sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well. Denver's 20-14 at home, just 13-21 against the number for the season. Last 10, they're 6-4 straight up, but 4-6 against the spread. Clippers are also 4-6 last 10, but 5-5 against the number. Take it away, Kevin, and tell us where the player props are for this one.
Yeah, so I agree with you on the side. I actually do think this is going to be a close game, but I would lean to the over as well in this one. But looking at a player prop, you know his name pretty good. Nikola Jokic, guys, he's been a monster. He's battling Embiid for the MVP race. If you look at I just pulled up the odds. Embiid's minus 160 to win MVP this season, and Jokic is plus 135. So again, he's coming for it. Not many games left, but he's still going to be balling out, trying to get his MVP title back for back-to-back years. So again, I like him here. His PRA line, points, rebounds, and assists, over 47.5. And you guys might think I'm crazy. That's super high, but this guy is a monster. If you look at, he's played the Clippers in 3 games this year, John. He's averaged 38 minutes, 32 points, 16.3 rebounds, and 8.7 assists. Absolutely destroying this PRA line tonight. And if you look at it, he just got a little streak snapped. He was killing the double-double streaks, guys, a span that covered 24 games. He had 17 double-doubles, 7 triple doubles, averaging 29.3 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 8 assists. So again, the guy's been balling out. He wants this MVP title, and I don't think I want to be fading this guy. That's for damn sure. So I will be taking Jokic PRAs over 47.5. It's high, but again, he can get it done, guys, across all 3 stat lines: points, rebounds, and assists. That is the play here.
I love it. I like that one better than the last one. I do think the Clippers, if they cover, it is going to go over the total. And now you got me thinking a little bit that the over might be the better bet. I can tell you this, that the Clippers are 29-16 against the number when they're facing solid shooting teams like Denver is, making 46% of their shots or more in games played in the second half of the season. That means after game number 41 in each of the last 2 seasons. So I'm leaning right now for our best bet segment, Clippers as the side plus the points and the over. And now we're going to move on to our third and final game. This is the Bulls and the Bucks. This could be a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals, Kevin. I don't see either of these teams not making a run or not being capable of making a run. But the Bulls are coming off a very needed win last night in Chicago against the Toronto Raptors, who were coming off back-to-back road and playing their second of the back-to-back road. They beat Philadelphia the previous night in Philly, which was an impressive win. But now Chicago is doing their version of the back-to-back. This is a home versus now away. They're getting 7 points, but only 32% of the love right now. It seems like people are starting to steam on Milwaukee a little bit. The total is 231 on the opening. It's up to 234 and climbing. So I have a hunch you got some player props going on the over in this matchup.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I could find a player prop on both sides because, like you mentioned, John, that's exactly what I look for is high totals like that, 233s, 235s, 240s again. But I'm going to stay away from props in this one for right now. I just haven't broke it down enough. But I do, when I looked at this game, it was like, okay, the Bulls are coming off a back-to-back. They did look pretty decent last night. If you watched that game, they beat up on the Raptors pretty damn good. But they're still – I don't know if that's the game that gets them over the hump about how they've been playing. Because if you look, they're 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 games. And then Milwaukee's just dominated this matchup. I know some of those trends don't mean much, but Chicago's only 1-14 straight up in their last 15 games at Milwaukee. I get they're getting 8 points here. And I think for as far as points go, that would be a side I lean. But the reason this line keeps continuing to go up, because this is a back-to-back for the Bulls. And when we get late in the season, John, teams start to rest some of their key guys. So Levine is questionable, game-time decision. And again, who knows if Vukovic might sit in this one. I guess we'll find out. But that's the hard part about trying to find teams on back-to-backs. It's hard for player props because you don't know if their legs are tired or what they've been doing. So again, those are teams I try to stay away from on back-to-backs. And then as far as the Bucks goes, I just haven't got there yet. They're decent, and this line does seem a little high. So gun to my head, I would probably lean Bulls on the spread. But again, nothing official here for me, John.
Well done, KB. And I can tell you this for those that are out there, and I'm not doing the the Swiss Miss where I'm undecided like they do in the Wager Talk Today show. But I can tell you this, if you like the Bulls, Milwaukee is 2-11 against the spread in their home games after a non-conference game this season. It doesn't mean all that much, but it is a trend. They're also 7-19 after playing 3 consecutive road games in games played over the last 2 seasons. But if you like Milwaukee, you might like to know that the Bulls are just 4-13 against the number in a road game where the total has been greater than 220 points this season. And also just 5-14 against the number in a road game after coming off 1 or more consecutive under results. So I guess I just confused everybody on that. But if you do like the side before you heard our take, this supports your belief. So let's move on to the final segment of our show, Kevin, and that is our best bets. I think I'm going to lead off. I usually don't lead off, but I'm pretty certain on this one. I'm going to go with the Clippers plus the 6.5. I also like the over in that game, but if I had to decide between one or the other, I'm going to go with the Clippers plus the 6.5, and we'll see how they perform tonight on the road.
Right. And one more thing for my best bets, guys. One game we didn't break down. There's only 4 games today. It's Golden State versus the Magic. That's the only one we didn't cover. And this is actually my favorite play. And I just decided I'm going to toss it out for free. So make sure you guys go to my page and read the breakdown. But it's going to be Wendell Carter Jr., guys, over his rebounds of 9.5. I like his points in this game. I like his rebounds. I like his assists. So, again, whatever line you give me, but I'm sticking with his rebounds here. He's been a monster. So make sure you guys go to my page and read the breakdown. But I'm 6-0 on Wendell Carter's props this year. So hopefully he makes me 7-0 tonight. So that's my one official, my leans. And these are pretty strong leans. Again, I haven't got to the window with them yet. RJ Barrett over 26.5 points. And then Jokic points plus rebounds plus assists over 47.5. Again, guys, he's playing for this MVP title. So again, hopefully his team knows that too, and they're just feeding him the ball. He's going to be a monster in the paint and scoring the basketball. So that one official, John, but 2 strong leans as well.
It's awesome work. Just absolutely awesome work. And if you don't need my recommendation, guys and gals, to get over to sportsmemo.com and get one of his subscriptions. Don't just buy the big plays. Get 30 days or more of his subscriptions, and you'll be glad you did. I mean, you can tell the guy knows what he's talking about. It's not nonsense.
Appreciate you, John.
So do yourself a favor and do that, all right? So, Kevin, that'll bring us to the end of our show today. We're going to be back tomorrow with another edition of the NBA Triple Double with you and Ronald Cabang, which is that was a highly successful show last week. And I can't wait for that. So, folks, remember 2 things. Until then, bet with your head, not over it. And may all the wins be yours.